Welcome to round 5 of this year's European Rally Championship, Rally Roma to Capitale. The rally's base is in Fuji, but as the saying goes, all roads lead to Rome. And that's where we are for the opening ceremony and stage 1. I'm joined by Peter Mackay and Holly McRae for this round 5, as we said. It's a tarmac round, and it's tarmac from now on for the rest of the season. The championship is hotting up, also the temperatures, 39 degrees when we got here. So it is going to be literally hot rally action. I'm going to start with Holly. Your first time here, first time in the ERC in Rome. How have you made of it so far?
It's been absolutely spectacular so far. I don't think there's many more iconic buildings than the one that we're stood in front of just now, and when you contrast that with the cars just below, it's bound to be an amazing night and an amazing weekend.
It is going to be an amazing weekend. Someone who's sampled it a couple of times, Peter. You've been here before, you've been on the parade, you've seen the first stage. Doesn't get much more special than this, does it?
It's so exciting to see us bring some of the best rally drivers in the world to one of the most iconic places in the world, and that's what makes this event unique. But also, when we get out into those stages tomorrow, fast, bumpy tarmac and a load of quick Italian drivers that our ERC regulars are going to have to contend with.
Yeah, they are going to have to contend with. Obviously, Hayden Padden leading that championship. It is going to be difficult out there, that is for sure. As we've talked about, the temperature is high. You've been at stage ends before on this rally. How tough is it as an event?
Well, it's definitely easier for me than it is for the drivers and the co-drivers. You know, outside temperature around 35 degrees Celsius, in the car you're over 50 degrees Celsius. And what always amazes me when I come here is the fitness of the crews and how they're able to sustain that. This rally, we've got the longest stage of the season at 32 kilometres. Imagine that in a car flat out for 32 kilometres. It's making me boil thinking about it.
It is pretty hot. Holly, it's your first time, as we said here. What are you expecting from it? As you say, you don't get much better start, but what are you expecting from the weekend?
Do you know what? I'm just so excited to be here. I've been comparing notes with Peter, trying to get a little bit of a heads up on what to expect at those stage ends. And this morning, actually, I was out with Simone Campidelli in his car, so I got to experience a bit of that heat. I do not envy the drivers, let me tell you. It is hot inside those cars.
Okay, well, let's have a look at what's coming up. Obviously, tonight we've got the opening ceremony. They go over the start ramp, then straight into the first stage, which starts at just after 8 o'clock. 8:05 is the first stage. Then there's 2 days of big rally action. We've got 6 stages tomorrow, 3 stages back to service, then 3 stages, and as Peter said, those middle stages of that loop, it actually has a massive long stage in it, huge kilometres to go. We come back on Sunday for the final day of the action. Again, it's 3 stages, service 3 stages, with the extra bonus points for the Wolf Power stage right at the end of the event. 35 points up for grabs on a clean weekend, 30 for your first overall, 5 if you win the power stage. It'll be interesting to see how and who takes those. But before we find out what's happening here, let's go back and see what happened in Estonia on the previous round.
Estonia, round 4. A country that loves this sport. Driving fast, hardwired into the fans here. Just watch. Tartu, the opening stage in Estonia, a super special won by defending champion Hayden Padden. Even he was surprised. Saturday, the calm shattered in Ranitsa. Padden reached the end of stage 2 with steam coming from the bonnet of his Hyundai. The radiator was damaged. Simone Tempestini, the winner of Hungary's first round, was just as quickly tipping his Fabia RS into the edge of this fast left-hand corner. Day over. Pushing for 6th place, Ireland's John Armstrong got thrown out of a rut and into the side of stage 9. He got himself out of trouble, but significant time was lost, and a puncture was picked up as well. He wasn't alone. After a troubling day with pop-off issues, Martin's Sesks had to pull over. A wheel had to be changed. It took almost 3 minutes. Tough day for Mattia Franceschi on his debut on these fast stages. He's trying to learn fast and keep pushing. He's just inside the top 10 places. Mikko Heikkilä got in a mess at a chicane in stage 7, then came unstuck. Almost 7 seconds lost. A stage winner on Saturday, he was hoping to make 3rd place his, but Gryazin was closing in. Georg Linnemeyer and James Morgan tried to own the lead today, growing it stage by stage, but with new tyres, they let it slip on the penultimate stage of the day. Robert Ververs and Craig Drew fought on when their lead went to their Estonian rivals. Their moment came in stage 9, where Ververs was fastest and moved ahead of Linnemeyer. The top of the Estonia leaderboard is a duel between two Estonians. Defending champion Padden is in 7th, Franceschi in 9th. On Sunday, Finland's Heikkilä was fighting to get back onto the podium, but a heavy landing in stage 12 forced him to retire his Yaris Rally 2. Maciej Franceschi never mastered the stages in Estonia. He finished the rally in 10th. The defending champion Hayden Padden got quicker as the weekend went on, but Friday's radiator damage had been costly. 5th place. Mads Osberg rose to the occasion at the end. He had hoped for a podium at the start of the weekend, but was happy with 4th place. Nikolai Gryasin said he was here for the experience and to enjoy himself. An interesting approach that got him a podium place, 3rd place. One last push, a huge send, last-ditch stuff. Linnemeyer monstered the final stage on a soft time. He'd been prepared after all, but had it worked? The rally leader, Robert Ververs, but a rally winner, Robert Ververs, well, that will be decided soon on these corners. What corners? Linnemeyer had not made this easy. Robert had a bit of time in hand. Had he protected it? No, the win was gone right at the end. And Estonia won too, but the order decided over the closing few kilometres. Victory to Linnemeyer. Valuable points for championship leader Padden in 5th place. John Armstrong finished in 6th. Mikko Marcic dropped 2 places in the power stage to finish 7th. This is how the ERC Championship looks as we head to Wales. Hayden Padden with daylight between him and Franceschi. Good points too for Osberg.
So that was Rally Estonia, the previous round on gravel. As we touched on, it's tarmac all the way now. But Peter, you were in Estonia, you were at that final stage. I didn't know whether I was disappointed, happy or whatever. There was so much drama going on. What was it like there? The storm that came through and everything.
We've made a habit this year in the European Rally Championship of having these crazy power stages. No doubt we'll have the same, so make sure you're tuning in on Sunday. Let's hope so. But it was 2 local stars from the WRC2 level, Robert Ververs and Georg Linnemeyer, both who've had experience in the ERC before, and it went down to a final stage shootout. And Georg Linnemeyer said after it, he says, that's the stage of my life. I've never driven harder in a rally car, and that was what it took to win that rally. It was really special to be there, actually.
I mean, it was impressive to watch. As you say, those conditions really tough, but obviously, Holly, we've got very different conditions here. We've got tarmac and everything like that. What are you expecting this weekend? You've seen some of the drivers, you've been out and about. You've got those Italian stars here. How tough is it for our regulars going to be, do you think, with the Italian stars here?
Yeah, it's not been long between these 2 rallies, and I feel as though there's not very many comparisons you can draw between them at all. From the landscape to the setup of the cars, it's all totally different. Obviously, the temperatures are now soaring, which is going to have a big role to play. There's different sort of road surface, obviously, but it's not flat tarmac, it's not easy tarmac. I witnessed it today on that qualifying stage. There were definite bumpy bits there that could definitely threaten those cars, but yeah, the road conditions are going to be different, the weather's very different, and don't forget you've got the locals that come in to really stir it up, so it'll be an exciting weekend.
It will be an exciting weekend, and again, just look at where we're starting it all from, and we see first stage just literally goes around there, starts just in front of the Coliseum. It is pretty special down here, start ramp just over our shoulders. It is an amazing setting, capital city, one of the new 7 wonders of the world. But before we get into that first stage, obviously there's a qualifying stage on the European Rally Championship, and qualifying now on the tarmac stages is the overall classification at the end of it is your road position. So it is important, depending on where you want to be on the road, to get a good stage time. So let's catch up with qualifying.
The blazing hot Italian countryside plays host to the ERC's Rally di Roma Capitale, with championship leader Hayden Paddon facing a tough task on the all-asphalt finish to the season. The New Zealander with a respectable 7th place finish in qualifying on what is his 200th rally start. Andrea Mabellini managed a top 5 spot and bragging rights as the fastest Italian in his Team MRF-backed Skoda Fabia. There were actually 5 different nationalities in the first 5 positions. After claiming his 4th Austrian National Championship last month, Simon Wagner would have his best qualifying run of the season in 4th place. Former ERC champion Efren Lorena returns after missing Estonia, and with his new Orsak Rally Sport team, the Spaniard was immediately on the pace in his Michelin-shod Skoda Fabia, less than a second off the top spot in 3rd place. Just ahead of Lorena in this 4-kilometre Fomone test was Eric Seiss, the 24-year-old Czech making an immediate impact on his own ERC return. But out front with the qualifying stage win and hoping to get back ahead of Paddon in the championship fight this weekend was Mathieu Franceschi. The former French gravel champion again proving his newfound love for tarmac rallying, and it ensures he has a later row position for Saturday's stages. Franceschi claimed the stage win by around half a second, while there were also strong runs from other local drivers, Boštjan Afbelj, Roberto Dapra and the returning Simone Camperdelli.
Felt really nice. The first section of the stage, it was like a barroom rally, so really bumpy, really fast. But we enjoy a lot, and we are happy to be back on tarmac because we rock a lot off between Estonia and now, so I think we are ready to go again.
So that was the qualifying result. Mathieu Franceschi, who's second in the championship, was quickest through. He's a gravel champion in France. Potentially we weren't expecting, and no disrespect to Franceschi, we weren't expecting him to be fastest through here. But 9 of the top 10 fastest cars were Skodas. Only Hayden Paddon was inside there. But to get from Fuji down to here, the cars have been loaded onto transporters. We've come down here. They'll make their way down. And coming through the city, it's like we're going through all these ancient monuments, Holly. It's brilliant.
It is. It's incredible, really. I've never quite seen traffic like it, mind you, and I don't think all those rally cars will have helped too much, but I can only imagine the sights that those drivers have seen parading around this incredible city. They'll have seen brilliant monuments, lots of fans out showing their support, waving flags. The atmosphere here is incredible, and surely it's only bound to build in the next hour.
Well, that's it. It will only build in the next hour or so because, as we keep saying, the stages are starting here. There's loads of fans already in here. Last year there was thousands and thousands of people, and it did catch a couple of people out. De Tomaso, who won in 2022, he crashed last year in 2023. I was getting my numbers mixed up there, but I was correct. But it is a special stage. It is tricky. Concrete walls all around it. So I think that it's one for the spectators, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's difficult as well for the drivers because you want to put on a show for the fans that have come out to see it. But as you said, it's a short stage, but it can cause a lot of damage. And the drivers really need to weigh up how much they want to go for it in the super specials. But a couple of seconds lost in a super special being careful could end up costing you the rally win at the end of the weekend. So it'll be interesting to see how they balance it.
It is an interesting one, and what I find about it is, as you say, they always say you can never win a rally on a super special, but you can always lose it. So it will be interesting to see. It is just a short stage, and we've talked about the stages coming up. There's some big, massive, long stages on Saturday and Sunday in the middle of the loop. Heat, we're seeing temperatures of 36, 37, and things like that. It is going to be really, really tough. We've been out and about this morning in the service park, catching up with some of the drivers as the DJ gets himself mic'd up and sounded up for the opening ceremony. But we've been catching up with some of the drivers this morning to hear what they've thought of the route and the rally and what lies ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough second half of the year for us, obviously on the tarmac and some events that probably don't play to my strong points, but in saying that, we just got to keep doing the best that we can. The biggest thing here with the hot temperature is looking after tyres, so we're always on the hardest compound tyre, but especially with the 30-kilometre stage, you know, you find after 10, 15 kilometres, the tyres start going to marshmallows.
The battle is really high between Hayden, Matt's behind as well. I have to take maximum point every time. Now we are focused on tarmac. We learn a lot of things on the car, and for sure we expect a big difficult weekend because, you know, big stage, long one, and a lot of grip change, a lot of time, and it will be difficult for the tires, I think, and for the temperature inside the cockpit, because I think it's almost 60 degrees, so it's really hot.
I'm here for the first time, so it's a bit of a discovery, and it was quite a shock yesterday on the recce, to be honest. I've obviously seen some videos of the stages, but they are very tricky, very technical, changing a lot of speed, so it's hard work to be competitive here.
For sure I have very good memories from last year, but I think this year is going to be a different story. A lot of fast drivers from ERC and also from the Italian Championship. I think also some stages is going to be more tricky because of the pollution and some cuts. I will try to be on the pace, to be focused, and at the end we will see.
The first leg is really aggressive on the tires. It could be really strong tarmac, and it will be a bit of strategy we should make on these kind of roads. And then the second day is like the iconic stages of the rallies, a bit more twisty, a bit more shiny in places.
3, 2, So that was the driver quotes. Holly, as we were saying, hot rally action is in, so bumpy tarmac, as we know you've been at in the car this morning. It is going to be fascinating. We've moved locations because what a setting we have down there. 90 cars in the rally, 42 of them registered for the European Rally Championship. Our leading cars just kind of below us here. The likes of Padden, Capitale, Crugnola, the winner last year. They're all getting ready because they're going to go over the start ramp underneath the bridge we're standing on and into this first stage with the Colosseum there. The view that we had when we were here before. But what a setting, what a setting. And to get here, Holly, they've driven on a parade through Rome, past all of the famous landmarks and finished at probably the most famous one.
Absolutely, it must have been spectacular both inside the car and outside. As I mentioned earlier, such an ancient city that we are in, and to see that contrasted with these incredible bits of machinery behind is just spectacular. I'm going to go down there and have a little roam around and see who I can speak to. Okay, brilliant. But yeah, Max Rendina and Bruno Tapanto doing a great job in basically bringing rally to the people and to the really massive capital city. It is something very, very special. So I think it's great, as we said, 90 cars down there. So we're going to we've had some people in and around on that parade that we've just been talking about. So let's just get a sight and sound of what these drivers have been up to get here.
Yes, an absolutely epic drivers' parade. We see many parades around the world, but maybe none quite like this one. Now, the views you're seeing of the drivers here are taken from some of our cameras, crews who are on Vespers, but some internal shots from co-drivers who have been filming for us as well. And we are passing some of the major sites within the city of Rome. And what I really like about a parade such as this is that you are seeing rally cars within just normal traffic, within a normal environment. And I think that's exciting for people who maybe have not come into contact with rallying previously. Will think, well, what on earth is going on here? All of these rally cars just heading around the city of Rome. So they're going to be passing the Piazza Venezia, they'll pass the Vittorio Emanuele Monument. They'll also head past Circo Massimo, which is, of course, where all the chariot racing happened many, many moons ago. And we will see racing, of course, around the Colosseum tonight, rallying around the Colosseum, which is where these guys are heading to right now. That opening stage is always pretty special. And as you can see, they do have a little bit of a police escort just to make sure that the cars get through on time, because as we all know, Rome, the Eternal City, is pretty busy in terms of traffic. To make sure that they arrive at their destination, they've got the Blue Light Squad guiding them throughout the whole way. Stage 1 is coming up very shortly for you, but this was the parade earlier on through the streets of Rome. Pretty special for our drivers to experience.
What a spectacular sight, what a spectacular sight. And this sight here as well, with the cars just below us, as we said before. Now, we've got all those cars down there, and there's drivers and co-drivers in there. You've noticed I'm all on my own now. Peter's left, Holly's left. They've been catching up with people down there. So Peter, I believe, has caught one of our drivers.
So Rome is famous for gladiators, but I found another gladiator here, John Armstrong. John, you've done Rally di Roma Capitale before, but first time in the Rally 2 car. How are you feeling heading into this event?
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge. I think we're really looking forward to it. The stages here are amazing. You know, they're quite bumpy and choppy in places, some smoother sections, but also really abrasive. So it's all about getting into a rhythm, not to overheat the tyres, overheat the brakes, but stay going flat out. So it's not an easy thing to do, but we're just going to do our best. Let's see if we can get close to the front pace. Obviously, qualifying wasn't our best performance, but I think we can do better than that. So let's try and achieve that and push through the weekend.
I wanted to ask you about qualifying, because we've all been a little bit stumped by what happened in qualifying. Some drivers we'd expect to be right up the front, we're nowhere near the pace, and it seems like there's games going on. From the driver's perspective, what do you take away from it? What do you think is going on?
I just think there's a big variation in packages, whether it be tyres or something else. You know, some people maybe are more match fit than others on tarmac, who knows? But yeah, like as you say, some big gaps in qualifying, which is surprising when it's a stage that has been used year on year and people know it very well. It's surprising to see some locals so far off the pace, and okay, we weren't super close either, but we were pushing, so it's not always an easy equation of someone's backed off or taking it easy. We're all pushing, but yeah, let's see if we get closer ourselves over the weekend.
And finally, we've got to talk about the heat. We've been talking about it all day. You're from Ireland, I'm from Scotland. We're not really built for this kind of heat. How do you get yourself ready, fitness-wise, for the extreme temperatures we're going to see this weekend?
Yeah, we definitely don't get this weather in Ireland, that's for sure. Just basically try to do as much heat training as you can, whether that's going to the sauna, going for a run whenever it's really hot, working out in the gym, just trying to acclimatise yourself to the heat. Even when I go on my simulator at home, just, it's really hot in the room. If it's 30 degrees outside, just sit there and go on it, and you still sweat almost as much as you would in the car. So yeah, it's just trying to put in as much practice as you can.
Well, John, it's great to see you up here fighting at the sharp end of the European Championship. Good luck for the event.
Thank you.
It'll be interesting to see how John Armstrong gets on, because obviously he's in that championship fight. We talk about the championship that happens. Hayden Paddon tops that leaderboard, but he has a score to drop. It's 8 rounds, but you take your best 7 scores. Once you take Hayden's out there, there's 6 drivers within 23 points. It's pretty close and pretty kind of demanding for these crews, as well as the heat. So, as I said, we've now just turned to the other side of the bridge, the start ramp here, the Colosseum, and they go off the start ramp and they go slightly round to the left, and that is the stage start, quite literally from the shot with all the cars into here and down there. You can see the Hayden Paddon fans are there. They've been following all around. Now, Holly, as you notice, she's left me. She's gone down to catch up with some drivers.
Simone, firstly, I just want to thank you for my incredible experience out in the car with you this morning. We're here to talk a little bit about the car behind you, because it is sporting a brand new livery for this event in support of Orange One for Women. Now, can you explain a little bit about this project and your involvement in it?
Yeah, definitely. We are a mixed crew, 1 man, 1 woman, since 6 years ago, me and Tanya. And even our sponsor has a lot of strategical place into the company, where women has a really big role in terms of responsibility and to make it go forward the business. But the funny thing is that when we launch this kind of pink livery, the ERC immediately realized that it could be an opportunity even to promote the program that you have in mind in order to find another women driver that it could be really, how can I say, talent to bring in the WRC. And we are so happy that this kind of activity has joined our car with a sticker, and we hope to find the new Michel Mouton soon, because I believe that the discipline really needs it.
The livery of a rally car is very important. It shares a lot about the driver, who they are, what they believe in. How much of a say did you have in the design of the livery that we are stood in front of?
Yeah, definitely we would like always to put some ideas into it, but for sure we have a marketing department in the company that is working hard for this, and it looks like the result, it works. But yeah, I believe it's better for me to remain really focused on the driving, because there are so many fast drivers, and it's not so easy to facing the challenge.
Now, I had to face the challenge of my own this morning, getting in the car and going at speed. Let's see that just now. Time in a Rally 2 car on tarmac, so it was an incredible experience for me. Lots of different sort of conditions on that very short bit of road, very bumpy at the start, a little bit of gravel here and there. Is that what we expect to see for the rest of the rally?
Yeah, this shakedown was really demanding for the crew as well, because it's not so really long, but as you mentioned before, there are a lot of technical different aspects where you cannot have the perfect setup in every places, but you just have to manage a bit the performance in places where it's really rough, and go flat where it's more twisty and the road surface is more flat. Yeah. What can I tell you? The rally should be a bit better, not so dirty like it was the quali, and yeah, so many corners, typical from Italian rallies, and yeah, and consider that the average speed of Rally Roma is higher than the normal rally that we usually do in Italy.
Now, I don't think I'll be stealing Tanya's seat anytime soon. I had a great time, but I don't quite have the skill that it takes to be a co-driver. You mentioned you've worked with Tanya for a long time in the car now. What does working with a woman in this sport bring to you and your drive?
Yeah, I can tell you that women, okay, for the attitude, they are really precise in everything, you know, and really methodic, and they keep a lot of calm into the car. And we mustn't forget the tone of voice, which is so important on the note calls, because, for example, with the women voice, you can hear even better the dangerous places or the caution that you need on the pace notes. So it's really important, and honestly, I like it.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Simone. I wish you the best of luck in the rally going forward, and we hope that your special livery gets some more women into motorsport as well. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to hear from Simone down there. Yeah, Holly went with that passenger ride this morning. It's great, Tanya, with Simone. 6 years they've been together, but there's many other female co-drivers around, but there's also some drivers which we'll hopefully be catching up with in the next 30 minutes before the action starts here. As we say, we're in Rome for the fifth round, not the first round, the fifth round, the second tarmac round of this season. And there's lots of Italian drivers here. There's one pairing, particularly last year. They won the qualifying stage. They were in the top 5. They had a bit of a nightmare with a puncture. They then won the power stage. But they're back again this year. It's Andrea Mabellini, and he's down being interviewed now.
So I'm here with one of the stars of the show, Andrea Mabellini, at home. We've had a few rounds on gravel, but we're back on tarmac and at home. How are you feeling, Andrea?
I will miss a bit gravel because I was getting into it and I really love it, especially the fast gravel roads of the European Championship. So, yeah, now a little bit more easy. Let's see for this kind of rally. So tarmac, I'm used to it a little bit more, and yeah, it will be for sure a good one, especially here at home. Yeah, we are far away from our home because we are 6 hours far away, but it's still Italy, so it's still home. So yeah, we will do our best for sure. We will try to push to finish in a good position. Will be difficult for sure because there is a lot of long stages to go, and yeah, we know where we are, so we know our package. So we will try to find out the best of what we have.
Tell me how you feel about the results of qualifying, because many drivers, I think, had a different plan of how qualifying would go and where they want to start on the road. How do you feel about where you're going to start on the road tomorrow?
I went for it. I had the pop-off open, so I lost a little bit, but I went for it. And yeah, I mean, I pushed for it and I gained the fifth position, so it's okay, no problem. But yeah, I don't know why somebody wants to start so late, because starting like 20 is a problem. I think it's a big problem because it's like doing the second pass on the stage.
Okay, so you're expecting there to be a little bit of cutting and pollution coming on the road. Tell us a little bit about your partnership with Team MRF, because Vivek is always here, he's always around, but the chairman of MRF Tyre is here. What's that like for you as a driver to be there representing that brand?
Yeah, it's very important, and yeah, I'm part of a team, I'm part of a family, so I'm really happy to be part of this, and for sure we will fight for the best. So yeah, it's going to be for sure a good one.
Well, we wish you a lot of good luck. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you very much.
So that's Andrea Mabellini, obviously talking to Peter there. Now, championship leader is Hayden Paddon. They're behind us, waiting to go over this ramp that's behind me. And let's hear from Hayden Paddon, coming in here. Podium last year, what can he do this time in Rally Roma di Capitale?
Brought an amazing group of fans with you to come and see this rally. What's this like for you? How does this warm the heart coming to compete with all these fans coming to support you?
Oh, it's awesome. Both Rally Estonia and here, like to have people travel to the other side of the world to support us is certainly very humbling, and puts a bit of pressure on. We've got to make sure we perform, but you know, what a setting to start Rally Rome in front of the Coliseum. It's a pretty unreal setting.
Now, we had a laugh about this in Estonia, how WRC Super Specials weren't your friend, but European Championship Super Specials have been. Are you ready to add another one to the tally here on the streets of Rome?
Well, we're probably talking about it too much now, aren't we? So we actually struggled on this one last year. We weren't so competitive. I think being early on the road with it being quite dusty, the grip actually builds up as the cars go over it. But as long as this is more about the location rather than the actual stage for me tonight, put on a show for people, and then of course the real rally starts tomorrow.
Does John, when he's sitting beside you in the car, does he kind of give you a pat and just say, just calm down, Hayden, like we've got to get through this?
Well, this is like a tour bus tour, and he pays his $5 fare when he gets in. He sits in, buckles up and enjoys the ride and the sights.
You mentioned the dustiness on the road. Qualifying has confused us, and we know you're a master tactician, but what did you see from what especially the local drivers were up to in qualifying? They went slower than what we would expect. What did you read from qualifying?
Yeah, I'm confused by that, especially tomorrow's stages. There is going to be a lot more cutting and a lot more loose gravel coming on the stages, so I think being in the top 10 is the place to be. Being too far back is maybe not so good. On the second pass it's not going to make a big difference, but for sure being near the front for me is a better solution.
Well, Hayden, as always, it's great to chat to you. Good luck for the rally.
Great, thanks so much.
So that was Hayden Paddon, our 2023 champion. We've now got, I've seen everyone else down here, and I wanted to be in part of it. We're just looking at we've gone past the start ramp, drivers walking past us, Gian Domenico Basso, two-time European champion. We're right in the thick of it. He's just over there, super cool. I love it, Jando, he's brilliant. Now this car here, car 31, this is the leader of the ERC3 category at the minute in the championship. Igor Wadlik, he is the leader in the ERC3 championship. And as we just look down the line of cars and see all of the drivers that are just milling around, and I'm going to can I grab a driver? I'm going to ask. I'm going to grab a driver. I'm going to grab Karam. Come here. I'm going to get Karam. I'm going to try and got to grab a driver. I didn't have anything to do, Karam, so what are you looking forward? What a spectacle this is. How are you looking forward to this weekend?
I think this is a mythical place, for sure. And the first stage is a bit tricky, and I made this mistake in Latvia, so I won't be doing anything more than I should.
Okay, looking forward to it though, the rally. How challenging will it be?
It's a nice tarmac event, but I am not very experienced on tarmac. I will try to be on the podium but I cannot do more than I should, you know.
Okay, I'll let you go and get settled for stage one. Enjoy it this evening. Karam Kazaz, who is in ERC3 and the Fiesta Trophy. So we're going to just get some more information, some more drivers coming through. Giovanni Bertuccini is just about to walk past. I haven't seen him for ages, but we are right in the thick of it, and we're going to catch up. Martin Sesks, he's not here this weekend because he's probably a little bit tired after his massive schedule of 5 or 6 rallies in just under 2 months. But let's just catch up with what Sesks has been up to recently.
Okay, a nice surprise here. I've found Martin Sesks, not just ERC superstar, but WRC superstar. But this weekend you're in comfortable clothes, you can relax. How are you feeling, Martins, after that amazing WRC experience?
Actually, I'm feeling really unusual because we had to find a parking spot where to park the car. But as you're driving the rally and you just park it on the stage start. So, yeah, not the feeling of me right being here. I would better be in the overall doing the stage, but yeah, it's sometimes like this. We have had quite stressful past 7 weeks, and the schedule was so tight, and we just didn't manage to come as a race drivers. But I'm still here supporting Team MRF, and yeah, as Andrea said, we are part of the family, so it's like this.
His turn to put you off in your interview now as well. What if the last 4 of...
My brother from different mother.
Okay, a brother from another mother. And then this makes Vivek, Uncle Vivek then. Uncle Vivek. So...
Team MRF tires, yeah.
Martins, what have the last few days been like for you? Have you had the chance to reflect on what's happened on the WRC?
Actually, I think I will need some more time, because yeah, the rally ended on Sunday. Then of course it took me almost 2 days to just relax a little bit. But still, I wake up 5 a.m. as I do in the rally week. So now already it's Friday now. It's been a week, and I'm already trying to acclimatize a little bit from the racing mode. But we kind of stopped working because this was just the first success we could get. So it's still a long way to maintain it and to stay in the championship as in ERC and as well in WRC.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Is I'm not going to ask you to give away anything or secrets or anything like that. But when do we see you back in the ERC? Because we're so used to having you around and competing. What's the plan ERC-wise?
Well, the plan is that we'll be back as soon as possible next round. This was just the unfortunate many things why we are not participating, and the least we could do, we could be here spectating.
Well, again, from us all here in the European Rally Championship, we're all proud of you and what you achieved in WRC, and can't wait to see you back in the championship with us.
Thank you, and of course it wouldn't be possible without the ERC ladder to the WRC, and as we had Rally Poland and Rally Latvia previously in the ERC calendar, it gave me the chance to prove myself in the WRC, so yeah, really thankful to ERC as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So that was Martin Sesks there. I was a bit confused. I knew he wasn't on the start list today because he's had that busy schedule. I didn't realise he'd still actually come here. But a friend who's just been listening to Martin Sesks, obviously he's been part of the European Rally Championship. Rally di Roma Capitale, happy hunting ground for you. What is the big challenge this weekend?
For sure, I don't know the challenge. The challenge will be for sure try to fight against Italian drivers. We know that Crugnola and other guys will be really fast, but for sure we will try our best.
Obviously, different tyres now this weekend. New setup, third quickest in the qualifying. So you're gelling well with the new partnership with everything?
Yeah, for sure. We spent around 50 kilometers in the test just to adapt the car. I still having some doubts about the perfect setup for this tyre. Maybe we need to discover during the rally, but there is only small things like clicks, some position of anti-roll bar. So yeah, I'm confident.
To get here, you've driven through the streets of Rome, Colosseum there, first stage here. How special is that?
Yeah, that's for sure one of the best stage of the calendar. I mean, you can get here your sponsor, all the VIP people. It's amazing to be here. For us, for the driver, you know that we never like these stages, but all right, let's see.
Okay, I'm going to let you get back into pace notes, get into rally minds. Hopefully you'll have a good weekend this weekend, I hope.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Lorena, obviously champion a couple of years ago. He's found it a little bit difficult in the early part of the season, but we've got his car here, different colour scheme, different liveries, on Michelin tyres now this weekend. So someone else who missed the last round in Estonia, like Efren Lorena, was Philip Mares, but he's back here. He's won his category before here. Let's hear what he's got to say about this weekend.
So Philip, we are here ahead of things kicking off for this year's Rally di Roma Capitale. What are you expecting to see from tonight's super special stage?
I expect to see many fans of this sport for sure, because this stage is basically mainly for fans and for sure for us like drivers as well, but usually it's not a favorite stage of drivers. It's really tricky with the concrete everywhere and so on and so on. So it's going to be tricky, but at the same time it's going to be a good fun for the fans and for the drivers as well. So I'm looking forward to the stage.
How do you balance that sort of drive? You've mentioned lots of concrete around, some banners and barriers that have caused issues in the past, but you also want to put on a good show for the fans. How do you balance that as a driver?
Yeah, it's a right question, because you can really take it easy, but for sure this is a competition. The fastest guys are not waiting for the second stage, so you must be on it from the beginning, and we will try to do a good job without any mistakes. And then for sure it's impossible to let's say lost more than 5 seconds, I would say. But it's not about to sleep at the start of the rally, because then you are losing your time from the first meter.
Tell us a little bit about the qualifying stage today. It looked as though some of the local guys weren't pushing so hard to maybe alter their road position going forward. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I was quite surprised that, for example, Coruniola, the fastest guy of the last edition, was so far in the results. But I don't know. These are local guys. They know better than me how to do it, and I expect that, for example, Coruniola will be fast tomorrow, and let's see what starting position is the best one. But anyway, the field is full of really fast crews, so I would say that the starting position will not be the crucial part of the game.
That 4-kilometre qualifying stage had quite a lot of variation in it, lots of bumps, a little bits of gravel here and there. Is that representative of the stages that we will see throughout this weekend?
I think so. Maybe just for a few of the stages, not for everyone, because, for example, tomorrow's first stage is also bumpy. It's very close to qualifying area, so it's similar in terms of surface and character. But there are also stages which are quite different from qualifying. But still, it's tarmac event. We need to face these, let's say, challenges, and it's part of the game. When it's qualified like that, we take it, and we are trying to do our best.
10th here last year, if I'm correct. What is the goal for Philip Mares this time around?
I would like to, let's say, be better than 10th, but let's see. The competition is really high, and for sure new car, new tires, so we will try to, let's say, use our package in maximum, and let's see what's the result on the end of the race.
Thank you for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
So that was Philip Mares, our only car in the top category on Hankook tyres. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. As I said, a past winner in his category here. Someone who is stood next to me, or sat next to me, relaxing. He's not very well, so we just got to bear with him. But even though he's not very well, he was second quickest in qualifying. Eric, just give us a little health update first.
I am feeling much better, because after qualifying I went to sleep, so it was much better. So it's much better now, but yeah, I think the qualifying was really good, because on the road section you try to stay alive, and you are just focusing to yourself, not something else. So then you can really focus on the stage, and the stage went good.
Obviously, with that issue with the heat, not feeling very well, those road sections, how tough is that? How hard is that to keep that focus?
It's definitely hard, especially on the road section. If you are in a stage mode, and you you are focusing for 100%, and if you lose the focus, then it's better to not jump in a car and stay at hotel. Now I feel that I can focus for 100%, so it could be okay, but yeah, the road section will be tough. I think we need to drink a lot of water and stay in the shadow.
I say these cars don't have air conditioning, do they?
Definitely they have not.
So with all that in mind, second quickest, as I said, in the qualifying stage, what do you think realistically is possible, or what are you believing is a target?
Well, it's hard to talk about a target because you have so many good pilots here. So I think for a lot of people, top 10 could be really good, top 5 could be so good. So, well, yeah, top 5 could be really good here, but yeah, let's see.
Okay, right. I'm going to go and let you, maybe not sit in there because it's quite hot in there, but I'm going to let him calm down and relax. But he's not feeling very well, coughing away. He's on antibiotics, but hopefully he will be better. I can see Holly just over to the right-hand side of me. She is with John Kennard, Hayden Paddon's co-driver.
So here with John Kennard ahead of a very exciting super special stage to kick off Rally Roma di Capitale. This is a rally that's quite familiar to you. What do you expect to see in terms of the fans out on the stage tonight?
For me, not much at all. I have my head down, but yeah, the fans here are cool. They're really good. The Italian crowd are really, really passionate. So there'll be flags from our guys, lots of Kiwi flags, and loads of passionate Italians.
Let's talk a little bit about the differences on your side of the car. I had a little go at some quote-unquote co-driving this morning. What are the roads like? What sorts of commands are you giving to Hayden that are a bit different to what you would do in other sorts of rallies?
It's pretty much the same. For Hayden, it's like giving him clues to a video. The video's all in his head, and all you're doing is reminding him the whole time of where he's at in the video. So it doesn't change very much from event to event. A little bit with braking points and that sort of thing on tarmac. That's probably the main one on tarmac, is where you're braking changes quite significantly. So he'll use trees, boxes, letterboxes, houses, anything for that.
A huge factor in this rally as well is obviously the temperature. It's the hottest rally by far, the longest stage in the ERC this year as well. How do you manage that as driver and co-driver?
Before you go into the stage, just try and stay as cool as you possibly can. So cold drinks in the car. All right, they're warm just about by the time you get there. But then airflow is also really important. And the hottest part is actually when you're standing still. Because if you've got airflow through the car, you're damp, sweaty, that actually cools you quite well. So getting in through the air vent, in through the window if you can on road sections, just try and keep yourself really, really cool.
Those are preparations that help yourself, your driver. Are there any preparations you need to do to help the car through that temperature as well?
No, it's pretty kind of works itself out. The cars nowadays with computers and things in them, altitude, temperature, all is compensated for.
Well, thank you very much, and we hope you manage to stay quite cool this weekend.
So that's John Kennard, Hayden Paddon's co-driver. I've caught up with a rallying legend, two-time European rally champion, winner of massive amounts of events. Gian Domenico Basso, Rome, the Colosseum, how special is it?
It's very, very special. I like Rally di Roma, and I would like to win the next year. I hope to be a good race, but I know the place is high. I think.
Yeah, and this year you have a new car with the Toyota Yaris. How is the Yaris? Good? Bad?
Oh, no, my feeling is good. I feel good. We are working with a team, but I am happy for my car. We are working with my team, but okay for now.
Okay, Jando, I'm going to let you get ready. Good luck this weekend. I think a win could be on the card, so let's see. So, Gian Domenico Basso, two-time champion in the European Rally Championship. He was just about to get ready to put his Nomex on. Actually, up and down this lane, there's been many drivers getting undressed, getting dressed into their Nomex because they're just in cool T-shirts right now, and we're just going to wander backwards because I think we've got some more people around us, but they've got they have to wear their like flame-proof underwear and things like that. So I'm just going to have a look around at the cars that are in here. Rachele Somaschini, I'm actually looking for Rachele, but I can't find her anywhere. Mads, he went looking for a comfort stop. That's where he went. That's why we didn't find Mads, but Basso is there. But plenty of people around, plenty of cars around. Katerina Stratieva is here as well. She's done many, many, many rallies in the European Rally Championship. And it's just like looking around, it's the buzz. It's a bit like a grid walk, isn't it? It's kind of cars and people everywhere. But the person you're looking for, you can never find, which is just kind of like typical. But yeah, Basso now, we won't turn the camera around because he's now got his top off. Some of the ladies might like that. But Basso and many other drivers, as I said, they've come down here in like cool suits and like cooling vests. But now they have to put that flame-proof overalls and underwear on to get themselves ready for the stage. So that's what they're doing. But it's a great spectacle. The sun is starting to set. It's a lot cooler now in here. It's a bit more calmer in the shade. Up in the sun, it was actually very, very warm. Now, something quite unique on this rally, as we've talked about, they are parked here. They go over the ramp into stage one. But what they have to do, stage one, they are allowed to recce it. But they don't do it in their cars. They do it by foot. And Pete has been catching up with Simone Tempestini and his co-driver Sergi too about how they do it and how they go about it. So let's have a look at this insight.
The drivers have to make their way around here, but they have to do a very quick recce. We're only just over an hour or so before the start of the stage, but they have to quickly write their pace notes. And I've got a crew here to help me and tell me how do you do this and get ready for such a special stage. Simone Tempestini, winner of Rally Hungary, and his co-driver Sergio Itu. Simone, you've done this rally many times. How do you go through this process, getting ready for a very short stage like this?
Yeah, right. It's a very short stage, but like you said before, it's a really good opportunity we have in this rally to make such an amazing super special stage close to the Colosseum with so many people that they can follow us very easily, and we are in Rome, in a wonderful city. So for sure, for all of us, all the crew, it's a really, really nice opportunity. And you said before, it's a short one, but it's a proper tricky stage because it's very narrow and there are many sections where me and my co-driver, we need to take really care about the car and all the walls.
Sergio, we've just had a little walk up there, a few turns which are really similar to last year, but not exactly the same. What have you guys been working on as we've been walking up the hill there?
Yeah, exactly. There's been some small changes. This right-hander, like we will have it in the race, this right-hander is a little bit tighter than last year, a little bit narrow towards the exit, so we will have to adjust it in the pace notes. And then as we're coming up, we're coming to a chicane that caught a few guys out last year, unfortunately, so it's always like this with the super special stages. It's really hard to make a big difference, but it's so easy to lose everything.
That was something I was really interested to ask you, Simone, is that as a driver, the worst thing is for the rally to finish here, like it did for Damiano de Tomaso last year. But now we're seeing ERC rallies decided by 1 or 2 seconds, like we saw in Canaries. How are you approaching this stage as a driver when the light goes green and you go and start?
For sure, it's easier to make the difference in a longer stage, and yes, here it's very, very difficult because we start all with the cold tires. You saw we stopped the car like a few minutes ago, and the car will stay there a few hours. So for sure, when we will start the engine, the tire will be really, really cold, and we have no place to warm them up. So this is the first thing we need to take care about. And we are also using the really hard compound that it's recommended for the stage of tomorrow and of Sunday. Then, yes, it's this kind of stages are done for for the fun, for the people coming here to follow the car close to the city. So for sure there is no possibility to have natural corner and stuff like that. So the organizers are trying to make the best work possible to make it a let's say like a show. And for this reason we have some chicane, some really tight curve, and for sure it's not easy to approach them, but at the end of the story, like you said before, we start and we need to push to be as fast as we can.
Well, we've seen the chicane, but there's one more trick that the organisers have up their sleeve, doing a donut here in the middle of Rome. So let's go and have a look at that before we let you guys go and get ready to get started. So we're making our way through the recce here as well, and there's lots of little complicated bits to go. So we're going to let our crew, Simone Tempestini and Sergio Ito, get on with their recce. And Simone, you're a popular man as well. You've got lots of friends and drivers to speak to as well. So thank you very much for joining us. But last thoughts before the rally. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Like I said before, it's a really nice opportunity to be here, and I will try together with Sergio and with our team to make our best. And yes, we still have a few time to relax and to be sure that we have the proper pace notes for this super special stage, and then we will start to enjoy this amazing tarmac here.
Thanks for showing us around.
Thank you a lot.
An interesting insight there to how they do a reconnaissance on foot. Normally it's in a recce car up to speeds of 50-60 kilometers an hour, doing it on foot around the concrete walls of the Colosseum stage in Rome. Holly is out and about. Let's catch up with who Holly has got now. I believe it's Andrea Crugnola.
Andrea, things are just about to get underway here for the first stage of Rally di Roma Capitale. A rally that you came in and took by storm last year. Are you here to defend your title?
Difficult question. Of course, I need to be focused on the Italian Championship because it's my main goal for this year. But of course, I'm competing in the ERC event, which is a very nice, competition with a lot of strong drivers. And I will try to do my best. I know that normally with the Italian Championship pace, we can be in the top 5, top 3. So I hope to do it again this year, but I'm sure that will be more challenging and all my opponents will be faster than last year. So we just need to be focused and that's it.
There are certainly a lot of very quick Italian drivers that come out at an event like this. Lots of very exciting stages ahead of us. The longest stage in the European Championship this year will take place tomorrow. What sorts of challenges does a stage like that bring to drivers?
For sure it will be difficult to manage the car, so the brakes, the tires, but also for the concentration will be tough, especially with this hot weather, but it will be the same for everyone. So we just need to try to be a bit quicker than the other guys, and we try to do the best we can.
Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank Andrea Crugnola there, the winner last time we were in Rome. He's won multiple stages here, massive amount of stages, had a lot of bad luck, but winner last time. Playing some tricky little games, I think, in qualifying. Now, I couldn't be outdone. Everyone else has been speaking to one driver at a time. I've got two, because I'm greedy. Both Citroën drivers. Ladies first, though, so I'm going to start with Rachele. Rachele, obviously home rally, Rome, everything like that. How excited are you to be here?
It's magic. You can see by yourself. It's really, really magic to race in an environment like this.
The hot weather and everything, obviously we know with your condition, how tough will that be? And just give us a little insight of things that you have to do to compensate with the breathing, with the hot temperature.
Yeah, I'm just preparing since 1 month because I need to. I always overheat, so I have to take care of myself, and also I'm doing a very tough therapy with a lot of antibiotics. So it's going very well, but it's really tough.
It is tough, Mads. It's tough for people who are really fit and have no conditions and illnesses. How demanding is it out there? It's 36 degrees at points.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure, and also
The stages themselves are really slow. Well, not really slow, but very technical, very demanding. So it's physically hard to do the stages, and with these temperatures, of course, you need to really focus to stay concentrated for the whole stages and drink a lot.
I mean, what kind of litres are you drinking? Do you measure it? Do you know how many litres you're drinking a day?
A lot. If you have seen my story, yesterday we drink 6 bottles of water during the recce, and just to prepare, and it's tough, but we will face like every year.
Also, Mads, I don't know how much you know about Raquel, but not only is she a rally driver, she's an author. She's written a book as well, so you've got a long way to go.
Yeah, I'm not writing anything. I'm hardly reading anything, so... Yeah, so you need to teach me some tricks there.
Okay, right. There's a rally to start. Yeah. You've obviously... I've seen lots of drivers and co-drivers getting dressed here because they've come in their T-shirts, but you're all prepared. Good luck. Oh, okay. She needs to get dressed, right? We won't be watching that, okay? We'll cut from this because we're going to throw to Bex, who is going to talk us through the start and the opening ceremony and the action at the first stage.
Thank you very much, Julian. Thank you, everyone who's watching our build-up to this opening stage here at the Rally di Roma Capitale. Look at where we are, people. We are right in the center of Rome. We are rallying around the Colosseum. It doesn't get much better than this on a beautiful Friday evening. It does get a little bit better because alongside me I have a legend in rallying himself. Let's call you a legend. You are a legend.
Thank you,
you're
Bex.
a double Norwegian champion. You are amazing behind the wheel. You are still competing. And of course, it is Eivind Brynildsen. Eivind is going to be joining us and giving his wonderful insight across the whole weekend for us here. And we are looking forward to this opening stage getting underway. As you can see, the cars are lining up, ready to go in. And we'll be covering every single car for you this evening. We'll be getting the reactions of the drivers as they rally around the Colosseum. And of course, we'll be having a bit of prediction as to what's going to happen for the whole weekend. So we are about to get underway here. And there we go. That's the map then of the Colosseum at Roma, the opening stage for us this evening. Just slightly modified from what we saw last year, but predominantly you can see the shape of it. We will have a really tight hairpin. There are some interesting sections within this very short stage, and times of under a minute is what we see. The road order in front of you then. Ascia Vidori is kicking things off for us this evening. And as you can see, plenty of Italians right up front for us to start off on Rally di Roma Capitale. The entry here this weekend is fantastic, as we're very much used to seeing now on every single ERC weekend. Predicting who will be within the top 10, let alone in the top 3, is almost an impossibility because it is so highly competitive. That's what we love to see, and I'm sure that is what we're going to be entertained with for the whole weekend out there. Stage 1 then is moments away for us. You can see right the way through the field we have various classes, ERC1, ERC3, ERC4, to keep our eyes on, as well as, I'm sure, numerous stories of wonder from the weekend. We've already had some from, of course, our qualifying earlier on. We've all been slightly confused by maybe some of the tactics that have been used by the Italian drivers out there, Eivind. I'm so glad that it wasn't just us here in commentary that were scratching our heads. Our studio presenters were also the same.
No, and I can't really understand why, because it's getting, we know that from tarmac, it's getting like more and more dirty on the road. Maybe they know something that we don't know, because I was really surprised when Crognola was doing like 5-6 seconds slower than the fastest guys. Normally he's so fast, and we could see it. He was really relaxed, the driver style on the qualifying. But yeah, so he will start further back than tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Ascia Vidori is first into the stage. Now, when she found out she was going to be kicking off proceedings here, which was a few days ago, she's barely got any sleep because she was going to be the first car to start Rally di Roma Capitale. She only began her rallying career last year. She's done numerous events here in the past, well, 6 months, 7 months into the year. In the junior